In 2003, I was shocked to receive a call informing me that I had won a Deems Taylor Award given by ASCAP for the year's outstanding music journalism. I wrote an article that was originally actually program notes for the JVC Jazz Festival, which was then, as part of the whole pre-arranged process, published in an issue of Jazz Times. And I guess the thing I want to say about the writing of the word is that my father was a theater teacher of some renown. I grew up in an arts house, and because of the theater aspect, even though I got involved in music very young, but the power of words was always a dominant force. And I acted when I was a kid. I mean, I was involved in the theater a little bit. And I think that I was the fortunate inheritor of perhaps a level of articulate expression with language that may be, I want to be careful here, I don't want to offend anybody, not that I bend over backwards not to offend people, but this is, it's a funny thing, but it's a sensitive subject in jazz. Jazz is rife with individuals who are geniuses, but they're geniuses of music, they're geniuses of sound and of that form of expression. And I think it's a natural human failing to make sometimes the slight error of judgment, if you will, that because you're unable to do something, or in this case to express something, that this is a thing which cannot be expressed. That having been said, I don't for 1 minute believe that it's possible to translate with words, especially in an instructive way, the full depth, meaning, import of what it is to create jazz music. What I believe is that there's a middle ground. All real learning, I think, is self-discovery. People don't really learn something in the way of having their own ownership of it in any way other than self-discovery. It was specifically sort of an attempt to explain why the Keith Jarrett trio with Jack DeJohnette and Gary Peacock is so special. But because of the nature of the assignment, I was actually encouraged to try to relate what I thought was special about what they did, both as individuals and as a group, to larger ideas about the music. And apparently the people at ASCAP thought I succeeded. Ozawa Hall is, as many people know, is completely unique for a couple of reasons. Its interior design is stunning. I myself am a wood freak. I prefer wood over metal any day, and I think they've used different woods in there. I won't pretend that I know exactly what they are. The teak comes to mind. I'm not sure what it is, but just the shape of it, that it's kind of a box, you know. And the thing that impressed me about it so much was that it's not the conventional shape that you think, oh, and it's going to sound great in here too. But it does. You know, it's acoustically, was really, really struck by how great things sounded in there. And then, of course, you look back and there's no back wall. It's both indoors and outdoors, and the lawn out beyond with however many hundreds of people are scattered out there. It's a very magical place, and of course it's in a beautiful part of the world. Rolling hills and verdant forests and all that sort of thing. It's an amazing venue. It's definitely one of the top venues that we've been very fortunate. We've performed in the Kennedy Center many times, Lincoln Center. We've performed at the Sydney Opera House with the Sydney Symphony, and Tanglewood to me is one of the world's great venues. It just is, you know. It has a very magical vibe. This is going to be a really great show. The trio is going to play a program of mostly originals, but some carefully selected standards that I've sort of rearranged in the way that I seem to do. The entire set will be conceived very intentionally to take the listener on a journey of sorts. And then there'll be an intermission, of course, and then we'll come out and with a larger ensemble and play Kurt's set, which will also be custom tailored to tell a story as a whole. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that there's a sort of a delightful pattern that seems to have presented itself, that our sets seem to the audience much shorter than they actually are, to really use the performance in a way that is patient and organic to tell a story. And if you captivate the audience like that, so that the music that's coming at them is more than however deftly deployed notes, but that there's really a story, that is the most important thing. And if you can hit the right stride with that, it can be very transformative, I think. I think the audience at Tanglewood on September 5th is going to have a blast, and I think the reason is because when we play, you know, a lot of jazz performances and performers come off as being very serious, almost to the point sometimes of being stern or even scolding, and different strokes, you know, nothing wrong with that if that's what it is, but I know that Kurt and I feel that there doesn't need to be any conflict between the joy of playing and of communicating and expressing and the serious nature of the depth of the music itself. And so when we play, we're always very almost gregarious about our enjoyment of what we're doing, and you know, sort of like you know, if you join a dinner party and right as you sit down, two people are yawning, I think that tells you where that dinner party's going, and it's infectious, you know, the yawn, right? We strive for something opposite, or actually let me say, we don't strive. It's very natural, the space that we end up in, but I find it to be a very, very infectious thing, and people just end up having a great time. And plus, Ozawa Hall, beautiful September evening, I think that's a recipe for a great time.